we first need to study the legal reasoning here of the judgment of the German Constitutional Court in more detail before considering any appropriate follow-up actions.
Je pense, David, que c'est...
I think, David, this is a question which we have returned to on a number of occasions in other contexts. We need, first of all, to examine the judgment of the court. There are certain clear principles which I just reiterated in terms of the supremacy, the primacy of European law and the decisions of the European Court of Justice, which are binding. We're going to study all of this before determining whether decisions are required. May I just have a brief follow-up? Because the judgment of the German Constitutional Court gives 3 months to the European Central Bank, and this is time to enable them to take another decision and justify their decision on the basis of other principles and so on. But there is a deadline, 3 months, after which the German Central Bank will be forced to sell the securities which it has bought under the ECB programme. So the deadline is quite short, quite close, and this could have knock-on effects in terms of financial stability for the Eurozone. I do understand that you need to study the substance, but you can see that there's a problem. What are the times, the deadlines required if you want to appeal to the Luxembourg court, if you want to launch an infringement procedure and so on? Because there's a whole system which risks coming crashing down. Well, David, I entirely understand your argument, but it's only 2 hours after the delivery of the judgment, and we're in the press room, and this is not the time or place to give you details about reactions. First of all, because this is an extremely important subject, it requires sufficiently detailed examination. Bearing in, we're fully aware of the deadline which you have mentioned, but despite that deadline, it's not here, it's not now on the podium that we're going to start this, weighing up one or other option or timetable.
Voilà.
So, we're going to change the subject, if that's okay with you. We'll move on. First of all, can I ask all of those who've asked a question, like Susanna, for example, to take down their waving hand, unless they have another question for later. Could you, can we move on? Griselda, hello.
Bonjour, merci beaucoup. Écoute.
Thank you very much. Another question on the same topic. I understand that it's delicate, but I wonder if there will be an analysis in time for the Ministers of the Economy to discuss this on the 8th. Will you be able to present a legal, political, analytical position on the implications of this ruling for the euro at the next Eurogroup meeting? Well, you can be sure that the European Commission will not waste a second in analysing the ruling. I cannot commit to a specific time when that analysis will be ready at this stage, quite simply because, as I've said already, we just received the ruling. But you can rest assured that we'll be wasting no time in our work to analyse it. Should we interpret your prudence and the time that you need as an expression of concern? I think you should interpret it as an expression of the seriousness with which the European Commission always analyses legal decisions which have an impact on community policy. Thank you.
Okay.